Spaghetti!
I should call a plumber.
Yes, I think my pipes are frozen. What do you mean you don't service my area? To hell with you. I'll do it myself.
Okay, pipes. Okay, this can't be too difficult, right? Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about
Super Mario in real life.
Super Mario Bros. Was a sci-fi action film directed by Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jenkel, based around the titular video game. Released in 1993 by the now defunct Hollywood Pictures, the film was a complete commercial failure and is generally regarded as one of the worst films ever made. So, of course, I ended up watching it. Let's get right into it because this is a big one. Super Mario Bros. Starts off with the original theme song from the first game, which soon transitions into an intro talking about dinosaurs. Interestingly, the intro is narrated by Dan Castellaneta, the voice of Homer Simpson. The scene is set in Brooklyn in the year 65 million BC, as Dan discusses how the dinosaurs were struck by a meteorite which supposedly killed them. However, Dan then suggests that the dinosaurs were not killed and were instead transported to an alternate reality where they evolved into sapient beings. The film then transitions to Brooklyn 20 years in the past, which I'm assuming is 1973, as a mysterious woman runs through the streets of New York. She leaves a package on the front steps of a church, along with a rock. The woman then runs into a tunnel where she is accosted by another strange man, and she ends up getting buried by a tunnel collapse. Back at the church, the nuns open the package to reveal an egg, which hatches into a baby, and then the flashback ends. The movie then transitions to the present day, which I'm assuming is 1993, where we meet Mario and Luigi themselves. While Luigi watches TV, Mario reveals that their business, Mario Brothers Plumbing, is going broke. They get a call and quickly head out, at which point Luigi decides to drive and goes off-road in a scene with way too much dialogue. The brothers are too late, as the plumbing job has been taken by Scapelli Construction, a rival company. At the same time, we can see a group of college students performing a dig for dinosaur bones. It is revealed that Scapelli and his company are trying to take over this area as well, so that they can continue their subterranean construction project. Scapelli himself shows up and threatens Daisy, the woman in charge of the dig. Daisy leaves to get more security, but she is watched by two guys in a car who say that they are going to get her. They chase her and various slapstick accidents occur. Daisy encounters Luigi, who is talking on a phone to call a tow for the truck. Luigi is enamored with her and lets her use the phone, complete with a awkward dialogue scene.
I'm asking you if you want to ride. Oh, but, it's broken though.
Later, Daisy gets a ride back to the site with the Mario Brothers after seeing the two guys in the car. Luigi and Daisy go on a date where Daisy talks about how the dig site might contain traces of the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. After this, they head out to the dig site. They look at some dinosaur skeletons for a while, and Daisy talks about how they look almost human. Then, some pipes start leaking, which prompts Luigi to call Mario for help. After fixing the pipes, Mario and Luigi are knocked out by the two guys from the car, who take Daisy away. Mario and Luigi wake up extremely quickly and follow Daisy. However, when they arrive at the rock wall, the two guys, whose names are Iggy and Spike, I feel like I should point that out, take Daisy through the wall, which is actually some kind of portal. Luigi manages to grab the rock she wears around her neck, but he isn't able to save her. Mario and Luigi then jump through the portal to go rescue her. After entering the portal, Mario and Luigi end up in a spook zone, which is nothing like anything they have ever seen. They chase after Daisy, but a cop pulls them away and they decide to lay low and analyze their situation. Meanwhile, in a tower somewhere in the city, Koopa, the president of the city and the main antagonist of the film, gives us some convenient exposition in which he describes how they live in a parallel reality filled with dinosaur people, and they are suffering from a lack of resources, which the other reality, filled with mammals, does not face. Koopa then describes how he plans to merge both realities and take over the other one with the help of Daisy's rock. Iggy and Spike then enter the room to tell Koopa that they captured Daisy. However, upon being asked where the rock was, Iggy and Spike state that the plumbers took it. Koopa puts out a warrant for the capture of the plumbers. Back on the street, Mario and Luigi are confronted by a strange woman who takes the rock, and then way too many things happen at once. In the end, Mario and Luigi meet a street performer named Toad and are arrested for being plumbers. Meanwhile, Daisy encounters some other women who are also kidnapped. Mario and Luigi get sent to jail for being processed, where it is revealed that their names are Mario Mario and Luigi Mario. In jail, Toad explains to the brothers that the meteor impact split the realities, and now Koopa wants to merge them again. He also says that the fungus which is infecting the city is actually the old king, who Koopa overthrew and then devolved. Koopa talks to the brothers and tries to get the rock, but in the end he just sends them off to get devolved as well. Koopa meets Mario, Luigi, and Toad in his de-evolution chamber, where he explains that while evolution is an upward process, de-evolution is the opposite. Koopa de-evolves Toad into a Goomba, which is a soldier of the Koopa Empire based off of these things. Before Koopa can devolve Mario and Luigi, they somehow manage to take out all the guards and put Koopa in the de-evolution chair, although Koopa doesn't get fully de-evolved for some reason. After escaping, Luigi notices that the fungus is trying to give him a small bomb, but they are chased away before Luigi can take it. Mario and Luigi jack a car and get chased out into the desert. Meanwhile, back at the tower, Iggy and Spike tell Koopa where the brothers are, and Koopa orders that Daisy be brought to him. Koopa also puts Iggy and Spike into the machine to evolve them, after which point they become smarter and are sent off to capture the brothers. Back in the tower, Koopa's girlfriend tells Daisy about how Daisy was actually the princess, and her mother brought her into the other reality to keep her hidden. Daisy also meets a small dinosaur named Yoshi, based around the Mario character of the same name. Koopa talks to Daisy in a very creepy way and then sends her away. Out in the desert, Iggy and Spike are driving around the desert looking for the brothers. They find them, but then undergo more slapstick antics and the brothers eventually capture them. Iggy and Spike tell Mario and Luigi that they need the rock, which they agree to trade for Daisy's life. However, the rock was stolen by the woman from earlier, named Big Bertha, who the group then goes after. They jack a garbage truck to get back to the city and then go into a nightclub to search for Big Bertha. Mario engages in several dances with her before finally taking the stone back. However, Koopa's girlfriend comes out into the club with some Goombas and takes the stone again. Big Bertha helps the brothers escape, and Luigi sees another bomb in the fungus, but they are again chased away. Meanwhile, in the tower, Koopa talks to the fungus, which was once the king, about how he will merge the dimensions. Mario and Luigi sneak into the tower and turn off the heat before putting on their classic outfits and going up the elevator. Several Goombas enter the elevator but do not notice the brothers. In another room, Koopa and his girlfriend argue for a while, at which point Koopa's girlfriend, whose name is Lena, decides to take matters into her own hands and use the rock for herself. Lena goes off to see Daisy and then tries to stab her, but Yoshi saves Daisy with his classic move from the games. As Daisy escapes, she runs into Iggy, Spike, and Toad, who help her escape. She is then reunited with her father, who is still a fungus. Meanwhile, Mario and Luigi screw around for a while over a big pit and then are saved by the fungus as well. Yoshi helps Daisy to find a speaker gun, which she uses to talk to the brothers. Luigi thinks that the fungus is trying to help them, but Mario doesn't believe it. A police chief calls Koopa and tells him that Lena ordered the troops to be mobilized, posing as Koopa. Koopa orders her to be arrested. Mario then talks about WrestleMania and heads off to save the kidnapped women from earlier, as Luigi and Daisy get captured. Mario helps the women escape with a long and strange chase scene with mattresses in a tube. Conveniently, they land right next to Koopa and his soldiers, allowing Luigi and Daisy to escape and join them. Koopa apprehends them with a gun, but Mario hits him and they begin to fight. Koopa drops the rock into the street, and Lena catches it but is then electrocuted. Mario tricks Koopa into thinking he still has the rock while Lena runs away with the real rock, chased by Luigi and everybody else. While fighting Koopa, Mario pulls out the small bomb that he got from the fungus earlier, which everybody is extremely afraid of. He winds it up and it starts walking, but then it falls down a hole. Back in the portal room, Luigi helps the women escape while Lena tries to insert the rock and merge the dimensions. She succeeds, but is killed in the process. The dimensions begin to merge while Luigi and Daisy try to extract the rock with Mario's tools. Mario and Koopa appear back at the construction site from the beginning, where Scapelli has returned and believes the whole thing is a hoax. Koopa shoots his de-evolution gun at Mario, but Mario dodges and Scapelli is turned into a chimpanzee. Koopa tries to shoot Mario again, but Mario takes out the convenient mushroom that he got from the fungus earlier and uses it to deflect the beam and disarm Koopa. Back in the dinosaur reality, Luigi and Daisy manage to separate the rock and de-merge the realities. Meanwhile, the bomb is still walking around and everybody is still terrified. Koopa orders the Goombas to devolve Mario, but then they get distracted and start dancing. Luigi jumps over Mario using the boots that Big Bertha gave him and hands him a de-evolution gun. They shoot at Koopa, who devolves into some kind of dinosaur. The bomb finally stops walking right underneath Koopa and blows him back up into a bucket. Now transformed into a dinosaur, Koopa continues to act aggressively. The brothers continue to devolve him and he transforms into a bunch of ooze. Everybody is happy and the day is saved. Mario and Luigi have to leave, but Daisy declares that she must stay behind to help rebuild. Luigi and Daisy kiss and then split up. 3 weeks later, the brothers are back in their apartment hearing about their exploits on TV when someone knocks at the door. It is revealed to be Daisy, who looks beat up and asks for help. Mario and Luigi get their gear and the credits roll. Whew. Now, keep in mind, this is just my opinion. An important thing to note is that, unlike many bad films, Super Mario Bros. Was not by any means a low-budget film. The estimated budget for the movie was $48 million. It was backed by Hollywood Pictures, and it featured several A and B-list actors, including Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper. Similarly, the special effects, cinematography, and score for the film are top-notch and on par with what you'd expect from a 1993 blockbuster action film. So, this movie's flaws do not lie in its technical aspects. Rather, they lie almost entirely in the film's writing, production, and performances. When asked to describe his abiding memory from working on the film, director Rocky Morton simply replied with humiliation. From the beginning, the film was plagued by confusion and misdirection, switching writers and directors several times before filming had even begun. Both Tom Hanks and Danny DeVito were set to play Mario at some point, but both eventually rejected the role. Michael Keaton and Arnold Schwarzenegger were offered the role of Koopa, with similar results. Even after production of the film was already in progress, the studio reportedly made changes in real time with minimal interaction between the writers and the directors. The tone of the film was changed several times throughout production, and the directors were widely disliked among the film crew. Super Mario Bros. Suffers from two major issues: tone and plot direction. Both issues lead the film to be confusing and difficult to enjoy. The film's tone varies widely from scene to scene, likely an effect of the behind-the-scenes changes that were happening throughout production. Most writers and directors who worked on the film tried to create a darker, more sci-fi-esque reinterpretation of the franchise. However, feeling that this would alienate family audiences, the studio generally steered the film towards light comedy. Due to this, the film has an overall dystopian and dark atmosphere, but is filled with lighthearted and humorous antics. Both of these would be fine on their own, but when combined, they only serve to muddy the waters when it comes to being immersed in the film. For instance, the ridiculous scene in which the Mario brothers trick the Goombas into dancing clashes with the visceral horror element presented by the de-evolution concept. Also, the sets and props of the film were designed during its dark phase, while the filming took place after the studio had reasserted the family-friendly themes. The second issue, plot direction, only makes the film more confusing. This specific scene sums this up quite well.
Let me go! What are you doing? Let me go!
It feels like the directors were trying to fit way too much into way too short of a time, and the characters' motivations and actions change so quickly and frequently that it's difficult to follow any one train of thought for too long. At times, it also feels like the film tries too hard to prove that it's a Mario Bros. Movie. And this brings us to a fundamental flaw in the writing of the film. It tries to be two things at once. If the film had simply been a dark dystopian sci-fi film about an alternate reality full of dinosaur people, it could have been entertaining. Conversely, if the film had simply been a humorous but faithful retelling of the Super Mario Bros. Story, it could have also been quite successful. However, because the film tries to be both a dark sci-fi dinosaur film and a light humorous Super Mario movie, all it manages to be is a confusing and conflicting train wreck of a movie. Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Mario, stated that the movie may have tried to get a little too close to what the Mario Bros. Video games were. It became a movie that was about a video game, rather than being an entertaining movie in and of itself. The film's one saving grace is the budget, which allowed it to be entertaining on at least a technical level. While the plot and tone may bore and confuse you, at least you can be mildly fascinated by cool camera angles and special effects. So, to summarize, some positives of the film are, the soundtrack and special effects are fairly impressive, the bright colors and constant action are superficially entertaining, and the actors clearly did the best with what they were given. However, some negatives are, the writing of the film is conflicted and confusing, the film's tone is all over the place, and the movie is stuck in an uncanny valley between two vastly different ideas. Overall, I give Super Mario Bros. A 4.5 out of 10. Superficially impressive and mildly entertaining, but definitely not something I would ever choose to watch. Also, the end credits sequence of the film tries to pull a 1-2 switcheroo on the audience, where it looks like Mario and Luigi are interviewed, but it's actually Iggy and Spike.
My instincts tell me this will be faster. Come on, breathe in, big brother. We'll get there. Luigi! You know, I read that sea turtles navigate thousands of miles on instinct.
Not in New York traffic, they don't.
But what are you complaining about? Come on, we're here, aren't we?